Welcome to the Blxxk Anime Podcast.
You see me dead, do you? Well then. Go on.
She all about that ass. That's slice of life.
Like I love Naruto. I grew up on Naruto. But like, it'll be for me. It's like I just always compared anime to Naruto.
You are now tuned into the Blxxk Anime Podcast.
Not the same.
Bro, that nigga was strong. He just got caught up by that.
Emma is Naruto.
Not the same, bro. Not even close.
I'm afraid he got
even killed him.
Definitely better. And that's
Get your baby, dude. Get your baby.
You are now tuned in to the Blxxk Anime Podcast.
How I irk you, bro? This is the end of the road. Afro Samurai.
What's good, everybody? And welcome you all to another episode of the Blxxk Anime Podcast. We talk about anime, manga, culture, all that and more. And today, you got your main man here, Aaron, aka the Lost Homie, aka the Anime Anthology, here as always, along with the boy Ev. What's up?
Yo, what's good, y'all? It's your boy Evan, aka Gracio's finest orphan, aka Mr. Bonko's Book Club.
And today we got a special guest. She's been here before, but before she was like within an ensemble. We had Panda, we had Kasha. We needed her on by herself. Okay, we need to bring her on by herself. We brought the spicy lady herself on here. What's good?
Hey, what's up? What's up? It's your girl, Spicy Yourself, Ashanti.
And you already know what today is. Again,
Let's get it.
You follow us on Twitter, then I put it out to the atmosphere to talk about it because it had to be talked about after what Evan said on Twitter the other day. So it had to be talked about. But this is also an episode I've been looking forward to doing for a while. I feel like it's a really good topic and something that people really overlook. People overlook it because it's not as it's not as widely talked about as other anime. But we're gonna talk about it here. But okay, before we get started, we're gonna do the what's up like we always do. Check out all y'all been doing the past week, what y'all been watching, what y'all been reading, A, B, C, D, F, G, all that. Let's start with Ev. What you been doing, man?
I've been chilling. Been watching. I recently rewatched Erased. Loved it. I don't remember it being that great, but I loved it. And what else have I been watching? Watching Rent a Girlfriend, which isn't bad. I thought it was gonna be bad, but it's pretty good. Also watching One Piece. But no, yeah, that Rent a Girlfriend, shoot. I thought it was gonna be bad, but it's pretty good.
Nah, it's hitting this season. Okay, I'm messing with it.
No kids. Good show.
What about you, Ashanti?
Well, I've been getting moved into a new place, so that's been fun. But I've been watching the latest, I guess, of this season, Rent a Girlfriend. Uzaki-chan wants to hang out. I love that anime. I don't know why there's so much bad blood about it on the Twitterverse, but I love this show. The show is hilarious. Literally every episode's so funny. But yeah,
Uzaki-chan is a gem. It's a gem.
She's so adorable. I'm gonna cosplay her. Yeah.
It's new.
Okay.
I like that. And then I picked up the Misfit with Demon King because everyone kept raving about it, and I watched one episode and I was like, oh, okay, this is late. I see why. And
that nigga, that's why.
Yeah, I like it, and I think that's it from school started, so I've been trying to get everything together, but those are the ones I've been watching, and stuff on Hulu like High Fidelity, stuff like that. But yeah, anime.
Oh yeah, those one season Hulu shows that they be recommending you.
Yeah, got canceled.
Yeah. No clue that it ever existed. Now you damn, this shit good as hell.
It is. I hate when that happens. That always freaking happens. Same with anime. I'd be like, this is that one season.
Oh my gosh. But Uzaki-chan. I think I said this a few weeks ago when I was talking about. I'm talking about a mid-season episode, but I talked about it a few weeks ago. People sleeping on Uzaki-chan because Twitterverse being all oh, she doesn't look like she's 20 years old because she's short and has big titties. And I'm like, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I know a lot of short ladies with big titties that look like that. I
Dead
mean,
ass.
That's not cap.
And in the latest episode, they showed her mom. Her mom looks like that. So I'm just like, I'm confused. Like,
niggas just want to hate. Now, I'll be honest. Uzaki-chan and the Running Girlfriend, I appreciate because they're both about college-aged people. And I
yeah.
know this is something that's been going around the Twitterverse for a minute. Like a lot of older people, like us, because we're old now. We've been wanting anime that has more experiences with people that are older, and we getting it. But niggas always want to hate. Okay, damn. Like it's gonna start as slice of life, and then it'll bleed over to shonen sooner or later. Shonen is for young boys, so I might be at the rename it or something. But anyway, I get what I'm saying. I get what I'm saying. But Uzaki-chan is a gem. I love it. I'm gonna catch up in about 2 weeks on everything. I'll binge everything over a weekend, like I usually do.
I did it with Black
But
Clover.
Love it.
Every year, I just go to binge of Black Clover, and I'm like, all right, that's enough. Let it build up again.
I do the same thing oddly.
Because
I think
it's
it's
yearly.
because like I didn't really like Black Clover at first, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch a few episodes and just turn it off. And then I came back to it, I'm like, oh, it's actually pretty good. And then
It's
did
like,
the same
it's too
thing for
much.
some reason. No, yeah, doing the same thing.
I don't know why I let y'all alone here. Anyway,
Fuck Haikyu.
Hey.
Somebody say
Hey,
something.
hey.
This man's wow. He thought he could sneak that in. This nigga wow.
It's
We not. Those are my sons. We not doing that.
We gonna come back to it.
Who said that?
Oh my gosh. This
Wow,
week,
the disrespect. I'm sorry. The disrespect.
This week I've been chilling. I used to working. I've been building shit because I got stuff ordered to my crib. So once the order, I gotta put together and shit. I've been building shit, about the builder, all that. And then I've been watching. I only watched 2 things this week. I finished A Lull in the Sea on Netflix. She's beautiful, beautiful. Oh. Such a beautiful anime. Oh my gosh! And everything wrapped up real nicely. It was a good, happy ending, which made me happy. I hate when I watch these shows and they end sad because it could have ended sadly, but they resurrected it. They fixed it. I loved it. Great. A Lull in the Sea is a great anime to watch on Netflix. And then I started Ace of Diamond yesterday. I'm getting into it. I'll say this: a lot of shit goes down these episodes. Like these episodes don't take breaks. They be chock full. They be full of it. Be 100% filled with episode. Like I did not expect that, but I'm rocking with it now. And it kind of transition. On top of today's on sports anime. Ace of the Diamond is a sports anime about baseball. And it also kind of transitions into the first kind of topic about sports anime that I'll talk about today is what makes sports anime so appealing. And so watching Ace of Diamond, and when I played sports, I'm technically an athlete still. I'm always an athlete on Wednesdays. Even though I graduated, okay, I'm always an athlete. He's a baseball player, but like I played football a lot in high school, and I did 1 year in college. But fuck that team.
No cap.
Fuck that team.
You like that?
Evan knows exactly what we're talking about.
No cap.
But we played about 1 year in college, and I was a quarterback on that. So they talk about one of the things that's always been so appealing to me about sports anime is the over exaggeration, but then also the realistic takes on simple sports actions. So there's a part in Ace of the Diamond in the beginning where again, because I'm only episode 11, so like really right in the beginning. There's so many episodes of this anime, but I have a part where the main character, Agent, he he wants to be a pitcher, and the coaches teach him how to throw. And there's a part where the coach throws, and like it like accentuates like, oh, you transition your weight from the back foot to the front foot, and then like you follow through, you block the elbow, all this kind of stuff. Because baseball pitchers do a lot of same stuff that quarterbacks do. Like it's very similar in mechanics. And as he throws it, like the wind goes off it. It's like a fucking missile. Like there's like a whole like effect. Like he just like if you're watching a shonen and like Goku punched somebody and like the whole the wind affects him like that. And like I'll be honest, every once in a while when I used to throw the football back in high school and like that. That's how I feel. I don't feel like I just threw a shockwave or some shit. So like sports anime is like it's appealing, for a lot of different reasons. But like for me, like firstly to say that is like it's appealing to me because like it felt like it's like the exaggeration that I felt when I was playing. Like like when you hit like all that kind of stuff, like it's so it connects to me on like a personal level. Like it gets me like really inspired by it.
Yeah, I feel the same way because and growing up, I played basketball since I could like walk. So watching Haiku, like even though it's volleyball, like it's still, I felt like that youthfulness, of playing sports in high school, and like the team aspect of it because basketball is a team sport, so it's volleyball. So it's like seeing, and a lot of people who I knew who played basketball usually went to volleyball. So I think where that was kind of like it was like similar but like different. So I felt that atmosphere and like even like the plays. I feel like the plays were really realistic and it made you feel what the characters were feeling and you're like, oh, that's so and so's that's so and so's ball, like where you felt like you're a part of the team as you're watching it. And it took me back to like the intensity of sports because I'm a very competitive person, so I relate to Hinata where he would, whenever that thing was switched where he's like, yo, I'm better than you, like come on, let's see. Like I felt that was me. Like I was always trying to like look for like the biggest person on like the basketball court and call him out, and like give him like hell that whole like half whatever. Like I was very like observant like that. So like Haiku, that intensity of the anime, I really was like, yo, I miss basketball. I need to go pick it up real quick. But yeah, like you said, like it's just it's like a nostalgic thing. Like I love it.
Yeah, and like you can touch on like intensity because that's what I'll say next. Like it's that like it's something that you see. Like I'm gonna be honest, I don't really see in sports live action sports shows because they don't have the ability to do it the way animated shows do.
Yeah.
So the most recent I think sports style like the sports style shows you can think of is what's it, the Gridiron show that they do every year, but you do training camps with the NFL teams. They'll
Hard
do
Knocks.
Hard Knocks, as Hard Knocks. They do there was that one show that came up on Netflix and was on, I think it was on CW. What was it called? The football one.
Last Chance or All
Last
American?
Chance. Well, there's Last Chance U and All American, both of them, and like they all like accentuate football, and there's ones for like basketball and other sports too. But football players, that's what I think about first. I also do track. I mean, I'm a two-sport athlete. But anyway, like those, like they do a good job of like showing you sports and like the things outside of it and stuff like that. But I'm gonna be honest, anime is the only medium that does an amazing job of showing you everything in the sport, while it's going on. Like watching Last Chance U and everything like that, you'll watch the games and they'll go from the coach perspective, it's like the game and stuff like that. But the sports anime takes you through every single movement of it, every single moment. Like it raises the tension to an ungodly level. Like you are at a point where like it's when you're playing, you feel these emotions, and it's hard to watch other people play and feel the same way. You feel frustrated or something like that. But like when I'm watching like Ace of the Diamond, and when I watch, Haikyu, something like that, I feel the tension. I feel it. When they score, I'm up yelling and screaming like I just scored. Like that, like I'm at the game. Like they do a good job of creating that atmosphere, that tension that you felt when you played sports. And like so, like it feels like a lot of times like you're living with them, like you're living in that character in that moment in which they're playing their sport. And anime is the only medium that I've seen be able to do that to that level.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Like yeah, cause like to be honest, I hate watching sports like live action. Like I've always been like, if I'm not playing, why the hell should I watch it? Like if I'm not in the game. So I was kind of turned off to sports anime at first. I was like, ain't no way hell I'm gonna watch something animated. Like what the heck? So and something told me to like just watch Haiku because everyone like hyped it up, and I'm just like, fine. And I was like, oh my god, I love everyone. I'm just like I'm like, this is so good. Like, but like the creator, I tweeted this a while ago. I was like, the creator does a really great job at like of the pacing. Like you know that Karasuno they're gonna win, but during the game, it's such a give and take, back and forth type of thing where you're just like you're invested into it, and it's just like it's just I can't explain it, but the fact that you can do that with a sports, and draw the plays out and feel that intensity of it at the same time, I feel like that's like crazy because I can never. But like just the details, even to like teaching of the sport while making it entertaining, I feel like that in itself is another like special ability. But yeah, it's really great. Yeah, it's like anime because everything else Hollywood kind of like shortens it because they want the drama, they want like the background things of it. Whereas Haikyuu is like, no, we're gonna give you that while you're in the game because that's what happens when you play basketball. It's intense because you got your playmates, you got the other team, and it's like it's high stakes and you have to think quickly on your feet. And they do a really great job at showing that. Like, because normally animes they make it seem like they have like all this time in between, like little things. In Haiku, it's fast paced, kind of like it's not a lot of time, and that's what adds to the intensity of it. I feel like because it's like it's like realistic in that aspect. So that's what I appreciate.
And you're like touching like the points that I think are also important for me. And it's like you said, the quick action between Haikyu, like Ace and Diamond does it as well. I think they're very similar with a lot of the way you do their storytelling. It's because also you said like live action shows, they're focused on off field drama. They're focused on you are in the live action shows that I've watched, even some like like you said earlier, Hard Knocks and like that. You're an observer. You're an outside observer coming onto the field to watch them. And that's what it feels like. You don't feel as though you're a part of the team. You don't feel as though you have to root for them or against them. Like you don't feel like you don't really feel anything towards them as athletic people. You're watching them as an observer would, as a fan would of them. While in anime, it takes it a step further. You're not be looking at the show as a fan of these players. You're looking at the show as one of the players. So like when they teach moves, when they teach different actions, something like that, they present it as new information to you, not as something you're supposed to know. And so again like in other shows, I've actually they don't do that. Like other shows, you'll watch a team play or you watch two teams play, and it's like, okay, yeah, we're playing, and but Johnny, he's really thinking about what happened off the field yesterday. It's like a fucking nature documentary. Like the field later. He has to get his head in the game so he can throw the touchdown pass today. And I'm just like, I don't really care about that. But that's how like it's presented, like a documentary type shit like this. While anime is like, we're gonna put you front center in action, and like when they teach you things, they're teaching you, but they're teaching them. So I've learned a lot of stuff watching sports anime because not only is it accurate, but it teaches you like you're a beginner and you're learning it. It's nuanced, and so I think it's a really like amazing way to watch a sport be played.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with all of that. Because I've watched like Ahiro Sora, like that one. I love basketball, but I don't know. I feel like with basketball animes, I guess that one specifically, because I was like I didn't watch Kuroko Basket or like the other ones, which I need to, but I got. He came back because we're not talking about Haikyu. I just realized why he's muted. I was like, why is he muted? Like, okay. But like I just
my moment.
yeah, with that anime I got bored because it was like it's like okay, like he's short. We've seen this before. Like type thing, and I don't know. I have to go back to it, but like Haiku in itself again, like it's just you cannot have any kind of volleyball knowledge in itself, and you're gonna be like, oh, I want to try volleyball now because it immerses you into it so well. But yeah.
Evan, you don't got nothing for why you think sports anime is so appealing?
All right, so Here's my rundown with sports anime. Because at the start, I was not a fan of sports anime. I think a lot of people weren't like fans of sports anime. So it's like, what story could you possibly tell me with sports? But
Yeah.
the first anime that I watched that was sports was Hajime no Ippo, and that kind of put me on to like how I guess people do sports animes in terms of telling stories, because Hajime no Ippo is like a underdog turned GOAT story, But like you said, it also teaches you about the sport and like, the ins and outs and like certain combos and techniques that happen within the sport, which was good. But then I got introduced to Kuroko no Basketball. Now, when I watched Kuroko no Basketball, it was like the exact. That's when I realized like exactly what sports anime is supposed to be. It's supposed to be a storytelling anime about the sport you love with a little exaggeration. Like Aaron, this is one of Aaron's little critiques about Kuroko no Basketball. He doesn't like that they're superheroes, or they're players with superpowers. And it's like, it's anime. Like, what, you just want the sport and that's it? Like, it gives you details about the sport.
Honestly, that's not why I don't like it. But okay.
There's one of the critique. I remember you saying that.
That's not the full critique. I don't care if they have superpowers. I think having superpowers in any type of sports anime can be done well, like really well. You know what I mean? But there have to be consequences for actions, and it can't just be that he's tired. It can't just be that. It can't just be that he's tired, because again, I was gonna wait to get into this, but everyone wanted to bring it up earlier. I was gonna wait.
I had to.
The reason why I don't love Kuroko no Basket or think that it's really that good is because the only time the things that are the matches, the games are interesting, or the games have some type of tension in them, is when it's an Age of Miracle versus Age of Miracle. That's it. Every other match is predictable. Every other match there is always one side that's just vastly better than the other, and there's no chance. So when we get down to it, like we talk about, like I said, I talk about this match anyway because this is the match that stuck in my head. There's only 2 games that really stuck in my head out of about 2 seasons I watched, because the rest of the games weren't really interesting to me. And that was the game where homie was shooting threes the whole game, and I like the powers. I thought the powers were ridiculous, but I was like, it's basketball, like it's fine, it's ridiculous, but there's a limit. So before that game started, they showed like him. Oh yeah, he's in the gym. He's shooting threes. He's training himself. He needs to push past his limit. A, B, C, D, F, G. So I'm like, okay, all right. So this man has a limit. This man has to, think strategically. He has to do this and that. A, B, C, D. I'm putting, expectations for him, because also that it's not just since you added this extra level to the sport. There's now superpowers and upon this regular basketball. So I'm thinking that there's going to be more strategy to what's going on. But nah, this nigga just started shooting. And so I'm like, okay, damn, like this nigga, he's trying to ball out. He's trying to win the game early. So like it gets down to like kind of to the wire. It's like the third quarter or some shit. Well, halfway through the third or something like that. And keep in mind, they established that he has a limit. He has a limit to how much he can shoot and make into his body. And like that. They make that very clear within all the episodes before that led up to this game. To get to the game, he's about halfway through the third quarter, and the guy who's shooting threes, his friend comes up to him and says, "Oh man, oh my gosh, I can't believe you're still shooting. Like what? Like, are you at your limit yet? Like, are you close to your limit? And the guy's like, "Oh, I hit my limit minutes ago or shots ago, or something like that." And then this nigga just keeps shooting threes the rest of the game and cuffing him. I'm like, bro, what's the point of establishing a limit if you're not going to stand by it? Like that's where I'm like, okay, there's no point there, because there's no point of this anime that even tries to make it so that there are any that they can be necessarily stopped except for by another Age of Miracle. So that makes basically like you could just go through and just watch all the Age of Miracle games and boom, you got the story. What's the point of the rest of the show? And that's one of the reasons why I dislike it, because you can have two powers in anime, but don't introduce limits. Don't introduce having stamina. Don't introduce all these extra things if you're just going to go ahead and go back on it. Like a few episodes later. That takes away from the tension. That takes away from the seriousness of the battles. It's like if Goku, Goku's probably a bad example. Goku's a bad example. It's like we're gone. It's like we're gone. Like when Gon went rage mode or something like that. It's like we're Gon went rage mode and then just went back to like regular Gon. Like had his Nen and everything. It was like, okay, yep, boom, 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 boom. Or like if Kurapika, used his chains, the middle chain, and killed somebody else that wasn't a troop member and was just like, and then died. Like there's no. So you're telling me that there's a condition, but now the condition doesn't exist anymore. That gives you less. It gives less weight to the series. That makes it less weight. That's my issue with the series. That's one of my issues with the series. Because it just took away tension from me. Because I was expecting superpowers. I expected niggas to have to like struggle or something like that. And the only people who struggle with them two main characters who at the same time, through around the 2 seasons that I've watched, it's only 4 seasons of the show, and a movie, right? Is it 4 seasons of the movie?
Yeah, it's 4 seasons.
Yeah, and it's a
in the
great
movie.
by the way.
Through about 2 seasons I watched. The two main characters, they lost once, which is, regular. They lost to Age of Miracles. They lose to a regular team, lost to Age of Miracles. And then they just win. They went out until they fight Age of Miracles, then it's a struggle. Then they went out. Like it's like, and that's why I can't, in Haikyu, I said before, anybody can get it. Like they didn't the first time they lost, like they didn't lose to like the super niggas. They basically lost to one person. Like it's anybody can get it. There's special people on every team that just has the ability to fuck your shit up. And if you're not like that, go ahead, Ashanti.
No, and I like that because, like you said, the whole like limited restrictions. Cause like we all knew Hinata has the hops, like the freakish hops, but even then he still has to know how to time it, how to hit the ball because he does jump so high. So it's like it's a grooming type of thing where it's like, yeah, it's one of like their superpowers, I guess, but it's like he has to learn how to control it. And then it's a duo, so it's like him and Kageyama have to make sure they're in sync. And then the other members of the team, I like how like it's a core group, but even like the side characters have like important parts to do what they can do. Like it's like a real team aspect where no one's left behind. I love that because that's literally what it is when you play sport. Like everyone has something that they can do to help put points on the board. So like,
can I stop y'all right there though? Can I stop you right there?
I one more point and you got it. I said even with Hinata, even with his jumps, they're not unlimited. He has a literal limit, and if he goes above that, he will hurt himself like he did before, and he can't play. So there's an actual consequence to him going above the action that that is his gift necessarily. So like he can't like if he surpasses his limit, the coach is like, yo, you gotta get out because if you keep going, you're gonna pull your shit again, and then you're not gonna be able to play ever again. So like it's you have to like there is. Nobody is just gifted something that's just crazy. But yeah, I do have a little bit of praise for Kuroko, but not right now.
Wow, so it's just really interesting because you just explained Kuroko no basketball, and I'm gonna just tell you why. So you're talking about like the limits, and then you're talking about how the other teammates, they're not as OP, but they still have like their own niches, and that's basically Kuroko no basketball. The generation of miracles are all prodigies, and like they're the best players in Japan. But other than that, the Siren high school team, Kagami and Kuroko, and everybody else, they're exactly what y'all said. They're projects that need development that could be the best. And like you said, limits. Hinata has limits on his jumps. Kagami is the exact same character. So now I'm calling theft on Haikyu. But Kagami is the exact same character because he is like he's like LeBron when LeBron was a rookie in the NBA. He has a lot of talent. He could jump out the gym. He could dunk on people. His shooting's kind of iffy, but if he keeps practicing and developing, then he'll be the best. We talked about jumps and limits. Kagami has limits to his jumps, the amount like of how high he can jump to do certain things, and he knew, like, I think when it started, he had like a 2 or 3 jump limit, and so he had to start saving his, like, when he would use his jumps and stuff like that, and strategize through the course of the game to figure out how to win the game. And if he went past his limits on jumps, you just said they had to take Hinata out because he was going to pull his. That's the exact same thing with Kagami. If Kagami went over his limits, they had to take him out the game because he would get hurt as well.
First of all, the reason, again, I didn't say anything bad about the MCs. Kuroko and Kagami, they're fine. I don't think there's a problem with them. It's the rest of the anime. I mean, the Kagami and Kuroko, they're fine. I mean, Kuroko's thing is, like, again, they have their own little superpower niches, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. But to say that the rest of the team is nowhere near as important as Kagami and Kuroko.
Ooh,
you can't lie and say that. Hell no. There's literally 2 games. There's 2 games I watched when they went against the Uncrowned Kings, right? When they against the Uncrowned Kings, that was the only game where them niggas could really handle.
And the game that you even
but after that game, if Kagami was not on the Age of Miracles, nigga, they was getting sauced.
Because Kagami is the player. It's like you have a star player supporting cast.
That's fine. That's fine. My thing is the reason the reason why I said what I said is because, one, everybody gets sauce as one, but two, you give limits to Kagami and Kuroko for the most part. Kuroko is, I mean, if he does too much, then people start to see him and shit, whatever like that. But the rest of Age of Miracles, except for I think Kisei, now it's the only game in the series I like because it's the only one that had tension to me. That's Kisei vs. Aomine in the end of season 1. Only game that had fucking tension to me. They still pissed me off at that game. But if Kagami, if it's not an Age of Miracle versus Age of Miracle, then there's no game. Like, no game. Like, after that, like everybody else is just like regular niggas. Like, no one at any point, like, I'm not saying that. I don't necessarily think the anime is necessarily bad. I like trolling and saying that it's trash. I think it's enjoyable. I think it's fun, but I don't think it's anywhere near as complex or as Haikyu or any series that like takes more chances. It's just like superpower ball niggas playing ball, but it's only fun when the superpower ball niggas is playing against each other. It's like every game. The only good games are LeBron versus Kobe. Every other game is boring. If it's not LeBron and Kobe, what's the point of watching?
I mean, if it's not LeBron or Kobe in real life, what's the point of watching?
That's
like with that's
some bullshit. Because
in real life, if prime LeBron and prime Kobe are in the league in real life, and we're talking about like the playoffs, like take the Golden State Warriors. Everybody knows they're going to the finals when they was in their little dynasty. So what's the watching everybody else? There's no point of watching everybody else. You know who's going to the top. You want to see the best play the best.
That's a good point, but that's a good point. That's a good point. I'm not saying that's a good point, but y'all think about it. It's still every game. There's still games that LeBron lost. There's still games that the Warriors lost after the dynasties, all that. There's still games that they lost to regular niggas who just went their hardest and won. There wasn't nothing special about them, or they just had a really good synergy as a team, and they just realized they figured out the ways to win above the opposition.
Okay.
Kuroko doesn't have that. Kuroko was literally, if the Age of Miracles nigga is on your team and you don't have one of your team, you're getting sauced every time. But
that's basketball. Like, that's just basketball. In a regular season game, we're talking about regular season, okay, I can understand if the freaking Washington Wizards beat the Golden State Warriors one time. But in the playoffs, you know who's going to win the game. And if you have a team of regular people, they're not winning a whole playoff series. That's what Kuroko is about, basically, because it's high school. You can't do like the whole 82 game regular season thing. You got to speed it up. And even like with supporting cast, like if you look at Akashi's team, they were OP as hell, especially when Akashi was able to go into his other zone where he became unselfish and didn't want to do things by himself. He realized he had a team with him that he could like make better. They became the Golden State Warriors. And like even at games that you were talking about, like when it's like if Kuroko and Kagami aren't on their P's and Q's, then the game's over. Watch the game that you were talking about when dude is shooting his threes and he's not missing. Who was the one that kept him in the game? It was. Oh, and by the way, his name is Hinata. So I'm calling BS on Haikyu. Oh my gosh.
Oh my
They just some
god.
stealing
Ooh.
motherfuckers.
Wow.
Oh, my boy.
Ain't nobody trying to steal from Kuroko, bro. Ain't nobody trying to steal from that. Nobody want that. They can have it.
The way y'all describing this show, I don't know. I'm gonna have a word.
Bro,
with
I just think you ignoring Kuroko's faults because you like it so much. It's okay though.
Kuroko might, if Kuroko has like strategic faults in what makes a sports anime, okay, fine. But the thing about Kuroko, and it's the thing that we can talk about with sports in general and with players in general, Kuroko wins. Like it keeps you, the show keeps you interested. The powers keep you interested. The games, even though you know who's gonna win, the games are still interesting to watch.
It keeps you interested.
Haikyu,
Keeps you interested.
It's just
Kuroko.
Oh my!
Kuroko was so boring to me because there was no tension. You knew who was gonna win. If an Age of Miracles nigga stepped on the floor, that was the game. It was over.
Bro,
the only game that had tension was Kisei vs Aomine at the end of season 1. That's because Kisei actually, that's because Kisei, that nigga actually went. He tried to copy Aomine, and they actually put like everybody was in their P's and Q's. Niggas was going off A, B, C, D, F, G. Like they went off that episode. I was like, damn, I didn't know who was gonna win. I mean, even Haikyu, you have an idea, like you think they're gonna win, but they've lost. Karasuno lost at least probably 4 or 5 matches throughout the season until they get to you talk about the spring games. You talk about the first few games. They've lost a few games, and then even when you watch the side teams, like the secondary teams play, you don't know who's going to win because at the end of the day, Karasuno would have to playing either one of them would be a challenge. Because so it's like so at any time when you're watching a game on Haikyu, a lot of times in the back of your mind you're like, yo, they could re-lose this shit. Like niggas be down, and you'd be like, bro, like how they gonna come back?
I would say that's the same for
Kuroko. Kuroko, the only game I felt that way was Kisei vs Aomine. Because them niggas was going back and forth. I was like, if either one wins, it's gonna be trouble for the main cast for Serum. But that's the only game I was like, wow, that's crazy. That's really gonna be different. But every other game, I'm just like, don't matter. Every game, I'm like, I mean, we know who's gonna win. We know who's gonna win. We know who's gonna win until they get to Saren, and then it's gonna be like, okay, this Saren, now it's the game. Every other game is like, okay, I don't care. But like you could in Haikyu, you could just ignore the Karasuno games and watch every other game, and you're gonna have the same amount of tension, the same amount of build up, the same amount of that you would have from the main character's game. That's the biggest difference. The biggest difference, and that's why like again, Kuroko is a fun ass anime. Like the powers are cool, it's interesting like that. But 90% of the time, you're not guessing. You're not at the end of the rope. Like, oh my gosh, they're gonna win, or they're gonna lose, because you know what's gonna happen. And that's how I felt. Plus, them niggas don't be following basketball rules. Them niggas don't be doing none of the real basketball nigga shit. Like they be. The reason why the end of the Kisei game kind of annoyed me because Kisei and Mine, them niggas was going battling back and forth. At the end, Aomine beat him. There's like 2 minutes left on the clock. They're like down by like 3 or some shit. And them niggas, the whole team just quit. How you gonna quit? How you gonna quit, nigga? Even if nigga, if you got like 2 minutes left on the clock, you only down by 2, nigga. You could make a 3 by accident. It could be you play to your heart's content, nigga. Like that's why Haikyu nigga. Not when I play ball. Now when niggas I know play ball. Niggas I know who play ball. They play to the last fucking minute, bro.
Boy, I've been in games where we are whooping people, bro, and they will really quit on the game. They won't want to play no more.
That's some pussy niggas, bro. That's some pussy niggas. But if you in the middle of a tournament and you know you got one of the nicest niggas on your team, and you know he's playing his hardest, you tell him you gonna bitch out at the end of the game? You gonna bitch out with 2 minutes left? You gonna bitch out? That's no play hard. Saying when LeBron when they were playing against the Warriors, right? and Kyrie was playing his fucking ass off. This nigga was going down for every ball. This nigga was coming through. He should have just quit because LeBron wasn't doing as good as LeBron usually does. What?
Kyrie, that's different because Kyrie is also an all-star.
No,
but you have some regular people that don't really like the sport they play for fun. They will give up.
Come on now. But that's not how they framed. That's not how they framed any of them people from high school on the main team. They framed that shit as them niggas was serious. Not even about talking about going to the league. Them niggas wanted to win.
Not the supporting and not like the role players. The role players weren't portrayed that way.
Nah, that's because and Haikyu, them niggas played to the last ball touch the ground.
Yeah.
That's
not even to the last second hit the ground.
Having realistic stuff. That's not even realistic because
it is realistic. You might not play like that. You might not play like that.
You have people. You might not.
Y'all people might not play like that.
But there's people in sports. In sports, there's people of all types. There's people who want to play hard to the end of the whistle. There's people that just play the sport just to play the sport. That they don't really care about the sport. They'll quit if this shit is not there. Like
Haikyu had that with like the opposing teams. Like there was one team they're like, we suck ass, like watch right, but Kuroko was like, no, like we take y'all serious, and that turned them to play serious because they were like, oh wow, like they actually respect us and don't look down on us. So that's why I like Haikyu because like that it showed that like, yeah, there are teams who know they suck, but you know, Kuroko took them seriously and that made them play better. So like that was like, you know, cool as he.
I would argue that Kuroko does that as well. And then they do the other thing.
Here you go.
The only match they did that shit was against the Uncrowned Kings, who was another low-key prodigy generation or some shit. It just wasn't as good as the Ancient Miracles. Bro, it was like, come on.
The Syrian team themselves knew they were terrible. But they only played hard because they saw how hard Kagami and Kuroko will work. But they like at the end of the day, they knew they were trash. But then, like when certain players got in, they would just try to do their role because it's like, oh, my teammates are dependent on me and they trust me. So why don't I do the same thing? And they play their role. They know they're trash. Certain players know they're trash, but they try to do what's best for them or what they're good at for the team. And what's his name? Hinata, the shooter. He's a regular dude. He has action figures. He's a regular person. But
what action figures got to do with this?
Because it shows that he's a down-to-earth guy. He's not fully invested into sports, but he's invested in the sport.
What that mean?
He's like that player that like has a life outside and has hobbies and stuff, but then he's also kind of serious about sports, but kind of not at the same time. He doesn't really know. He's like that guy.
I disagree with that statement, but okay, continue. I don't feel like action figures got anything to do with that shit, but go ahead.
I feel like action figures has something to do with it. And I'm going to tell you why. Because the game that you like to bring up with the shooter, there was a flashback of how he became, not the Generation Miracle dude, but Siren shooter, how he became a good shooter. And it was because he was terrible at first. And the coach told him, like, you're not as invested into basketball. And it's because of your life outside of your hobbies outside of basketball. You focus too much on them. And this is where the action figures come into play because that's what she was talking about, his collection, like his hobby for collecting action figures and stuff. So what did he do? He had two decisions to make. Am I going to try to be great and be the best player I can be? Or am I just going to be like, you know, it's just something I play, but I also have a life outside of sports. And you know what he chose? He chose basketball. You know what he did? Every time he missed the shot, he broke a piece of his action figure, crushed him inside. Cause it's like, bro, I'm really like giving up on all this hard work that I did on my hobbies outside of sports. But I love the sport so much that I'm willing to invest myself and dedicate myself to making myself a better player for my team. Not for me, but for my team. And then what happened? He became a knockdown shooter in clutch moments. That's what I call development. That's why I call realistic. That's why.
And you know what happened? If Kagami and Kuroko didn't come on his team, he would have got sauced by the Age of Miracles nigga because he still ain't shit. Because regular niggas can't beat them. Because that's all I'm saying. There's no tension, bro. There's no tension.
That is tension. That's still real.
That's not tension. That's not tension. If niggas quitting at halftime, that's not tension, bro. Just put it, and I mean, again, when the show began, and they framed it as like the niggas is nice and they just beating everybody, A, B, C, and D. I'm like, all right, yeah, that's cool, but this, this team gonna come in and they gonna act different, and they did for the most part, but it was like no other team really stepped up. Like every other team was just getting sauced. I'm like, it just wasn't. Again.
That's realistic, bro. Because you're not gonna have every team being competitors. Not every team is a team.
I'm not saying every team is a competitive team, but these niggas is not in. It's not like they're playing regular season ball. Like they was in championships, they was in tournaments, and they was playing against people who had gone to the tournament, which means they had won in their prefecture for years. And they just get to the tournament and they're like, all right, yeah, I'm gonna give up. That's pussy. I wouldn't want them on my team. That's pussy.
Hello, Aaron, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Fuck, Haikyu. But somebody had called me, so I didn't know what I was saying.
I wouldn't want them on my team, bro. That's pussy.
I mean, that's understandable, but too.
Because again, like I said,
than having everybody being competitors, because that's not.
That is not. But that's not. I feel like that's not realistic, because people who like, if you have teammates on your team who are fired up and they want to play, and you put the work in to win your prefecture every year, to make it to this spring tournament, summer tournament, the winter tournament, if you're fired up to do it every year, you're telling me you're gonna work hard throughout the whole regular season and then just quit once you win the prefecture? Just be like, okay, yeah, these niggas is too nice, I'm out. That's not realistic. So you're telling me, so like, that's not realistic, bro.
In high school, they're in high school.
That does happen to some people in high school. Right. First of all, it all depends on high school. It all depends on where you at, because different people act different. But 9 times out of 10, if you're doing an anime in which you're showing the broad spectrum of different players, different teams, different likes, and like that, then there has to be, those teams that they know they know they're not that good, and they don't have like that special person, but they still work hard to the last minute. They still put the team through their paces. The only team that was doing that was Siren, and they had Kuroko, who's technically an Age of Miracles nigga, and they had Kagami, who was technically part of the new generation of like next greatest players. And it's like, so at the end of the day, it's still technically another Age of Miracles nigga versus another Age of Miracles nigga. Like it's again, different strokes for different folks, I guess.
All I'm gonna say is Kuroko's better than Haikyu.
It's not, but it's okay. It's not, but it's okay. It's not. It's okay.
I think you need to rewatch Kuroko, because some of these statements.
I remember everything you talked about. I remember they gave development to a lot of the background characters, and I agree with that. They did give development to them. But again, I didn't feel like they showed out until the Uncrowned Kings battle, when they was playing against other niggas that they knew when they grew up. Even with the game where he was shooting threes and like that, they was come on now.
That's cap. Because
they was relying on Kagami. They was relying on Kagami until they figured out that he had a limit to his jumps. And we had a limit to his jumps. That's when they started like being, okay, yeah, I gotta get a little better. I gotta do a little da. And that's when they had that training arc. And that's when Kuroko decided that he was gonna be more than just a passer. He was going to start working on different moves. But again, Kuroko was technically still an Age of Miracles nigga, because he was on that team, and all the Age of Miracles people credit him for being one of the reasons why they would win so much.
Yeah,
not just because they was all nice and shit, but because of Kuroko. What does that mean? What does that mean? It's not about
like, if we're going into basketball terms, Kuroko is like Rajon Rondo when the Celtics had like Ray Allen and Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce. Like, and not even, I'm being very generous by saying Rajon Rondo, because Kuroko can't rebound or really do anything else before he was able to figure out how to shoot, kind of. Kuroko is strictly a passer. He doesn't do anything else. He doesn't like, there's no other stats that come out of Kuroko but passing. Maybe steals. That's it. Everybody else has something to them. Like Mitarama, the shooter, he can shoot and not miss, but he could also drive. He could play defense. The what's his name? LeBron James dude, street baller. Aomine is like Kobe. Like, he could do everything. Freaking Kisei is perfect copy. He could copy everybody. And now he can copy Generation of Miracles, which is he's about to be the best one out of all of them, in my opinion. And that's pretty much facts if you can copy everybody else. And then they got the big dude that has range everywhere in terms of defense. But Kuroko is just a passer. Like, he doesn't do anything else, just pass. So it's like, yeah, he's a generation, but like he said, he's a sixth man. He's there. He's there to pass. He does his role to the highest of the high, and it's important, but it's not that important.
But if it's not that important, then why do all the Age of Miracles nigga ask him to be on the team?
Because he passes him the ball.
Come on, because he passes them better than anybody else. He's still important. A role player is still important, but that's the thing. And they still all look at him as a threat.
They look at him as a threat, but he's only a threat if he has another generation on his team. The other generations don't need.
Even before they knew that, like even when Kisei came up to him. And like he was interested in Kagami, he wanted to fight. He was interested in Kagami, but as soon as he beat Kagami, he was like, "Oh, he ain't shit." He was like, "Yo, why are you here? Like you would do better over here." Like, and so like it was instantly like he was interested in Kuroko because Kuroko could get him the ball like nobody else could. It was to the idea that they weren't necessarily threatened by him by his physical prowess or something like that. They were threatened by him by his ability to beat everyone on the court at any time. So I'm not saying he's going to dominate them by himself if Kagami wasn't there, but the fact that they thought of him as important, he still counts as an Age of Miracles nigga.
He's like a half miracle. He's like a baby miracle.
Oh my gosh. Let's move on, nigga. We've been here for too long. Listeners in there like these niggas talking about the same thing for a long time. I'm sorry, y'all. Had to happen. I wanted to go into sports anime versus slice of life anime for a minute because people have to. Okay, so there's different types of anime, and this kind of goes into my underrated gems also, underrated sports anime, and because not all sports anime is created equal. Like you have the shonen styles like Kuroko and Ace of Diamond and Haikyu, but then you also have ones that edge more on slice of life style, which when you have Stars Align and you have Megalobox and you have oh my god, what's the other one? I can't remember the other one right now. It'll come to me. But you have
quick
those.
Question. Does Kenichi count as a sports anime? Somebody asked me that on the HBCU page. I said no because it's like you're not really doing a sport. You're just fighting niggas on the street.
Well, there is a wrestling anime. But Street Fighters.
But they were like because they're training then, and he was like in the karate club, I guess, to begin. But I don't know.
That's a good question. I mean, like sports anime has to be centered around the sport. Like even through everything has to be centered around it. So if it's not centered around the karate club the entire time, then no. Because the wrestling anime, which I cannot remember the name of right now, it is still centered squarely around wrestling. Even though they just So if it's not,
have any of y'all seen this anime called Bamboo Blade? It used to be on the Funimation channel. Nah, that's all right. It was like something that just popped up in my head when I was thinking about sports.
Fucking random. But yeah, so just because I remember I was talking to GB from Where's Channel his pod, and he's trying to call Haikyu a slice of life, and I was like, bro, it's not a slice of life.
People say that.
It's not a slice of life. Like Stars Align is a slice of life is a sports slice of life because Stars Align deals with. No,
they said it's like a coming of age sports manga. Like I don't know.
It's shonen. It's a shonen. It's a shonen battle style sports anime.
They're always playing volleyball. Like even at home, these niggas are always playing volleyball.
You like the one time you see Hinata's little sister is when he's playing volleyball and teaching her.
And even then, he's teaching her how to play. Like they never stop. They eat, breathe.
Yeah, like they live, breathe, all that. It's all about volleyball. And but like again, Stars Align is a good slice of life sports anime, which deals with the personal lives of the students outside of tennis. So it's about tennis. Tennis is the main, draw of the show, the main plot device, everything. but they go really in deep with the players' lives, even to the point where one of them, comes out basically as like, what is he, like a drag queen or non-binary? I don't know what, or gay or something. There's a lot of that deal with LGBTQ stuff in there with different players. There's parents, the players have parental issues. Like it goes really deep into their actual lives. Something that you don't see from Haikyu. Ace of the Diamond has more slice of life than Haikyu, so I can't say that. But Haikyu and Kuroko, like it's about playing. Like it's just playing. They just playing ball. That's it. Nobody care about nothing else. About your personal life and shit. That don't mean nothing. It's not about ball. Don't matter. So, I want to talk about that because that was in my mind, because people be trying to call Haikyu slice of life and this show, and I'm like, just because it's not about niggas fighting each other, that doesn't mean it's not slice of life.
That's very true.
Get disrespectful. So that's how I'll talk about the best sports anime we've seen. You already know. I kind of said I already kind of said all of mine, but you already know what everybody's pretty much gonna say. But y'all say anything. Let's y'all say something different from on y'all list.
Oh, my top 3 is Kuroko no Basketball, Hajime no Ippo, and Ice Shield 21, and then Slam Dunk right after Ice Shield. It kind of it's either or, but I like Ice Shield over Slam Dunk. And that's it.
About you, Ashanti.
I've watched 3. Like, does wrestling count? I don't think so.
What you said? Wrestling? What do you mean, like actual wrestling?
Yeah, like
WWE.
I read that stuff. Well, yeah, because like I read wrestling manga, like, so I haven't watched any of the one that's out. Like I've read Tapu, which is all about women wrestlers, and the main character, she's like a really OP, like strong, and so I like reading it, but like I haven't watched any of it other than like Baki. Doesn't really fucking count. Baki's like the JoJo.
I feel like low-key Baki counts. Like it's like the JoJo.
Baki's like the JoJo World Sports. Well, and then I guess Baki number 1 because they be boxing on there. Haikyu obviously, and I guess I did like King and Ashura, and I don't know if that counts, but I guess those 3. Most of it's wrestling.
Is it King Ashura? Isn't that like that's like underground boxing and shit, right?
Yeah. I like Megalobox too. Like there's a whole genre of like that type of boxing. I forgot whatever it's called, but there's another anime out that's kind of like Megalobox that I watched that was interesting. So I was like,
like I know exactly what you're talking about. It was on Netflix.
Yeah, like it's like a whole like subgenre of like that, and I think that series came out first before King Megalobox. I researched.
No, it didn't.
It didn't.
Yeah. I mean, if it released in Japan first, it might have. But I remember when Megalobox came out. Oh, you know what, the manga. I don't know if Megalobox has a manga. You're right.
Yeah, because like I think the manga of that new series came out like a while ago. So
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, because I remember researching like it's a whole subgenre of this kind of like boxing. I didn't know. Like I thought it was just Megalobox, but I mean it makes sense. So, but I like that.
What's the wrestling manga you said you read? What's that about? Put us on.
Oh, okay, yo, Tapu. Read Tapu. Okay, so Tapu is about this girl. She's OP as hell. She's bored all the time in school. She plays basketball. She's part of karate club, and she just beat niggas up all the time. And then this little girl comes to her school who is adopted by this Brazilian family. Who the dad is like a world-renowned like boxer, what have you, MMA fighter. And so she comes in and kind of like gives the main character like a reason to fight, like a challenge type thing. And so she's 16. She's like, yeah, I'm gonna do MMA. And they're like, bitch, you're too old. She's like, no, but I can fight. And they're like, oh damn, she's kind of strong. And so you just see her, like go through that, meet other women MMA characters who are equally as crazy as her. Like this girl's psychotic, but I love it because like that's how focused she is, and that was me growing up. Like I was very athletic kid, and I was tall for my age, so it's like, and I just love a challenge, and like I relate a lot to her. Like one of her coaches was like, she kind of crazy. Like I think she's something wrong with her. Like but she's just like so dope. The fights are amazing. Like these are some big ass women. Like they are strong. So read Temple if you haven't read it, because I would love to see that animated. But that's just action. There's another one called, I forgot the name of it, but it's like a love story type thing where it's like it's a girl, she's like a strong wrestler, and like this weak boy, he's part of the wrestling club. He wants to like they date in secret because she's like popular. But she's really so sweet and like well reserved, but she's super strong. One of my favorites. I'll let you know the name before I forgot the name of it, but like I like to read it. Like I don't know, like the animes are cool, but like it's different when you read these mangas. I feel like, and of course, women
Yeah, that's
characters
true.
whooping ass. Like I love it. It's dope, and like yeah. So it's like haiku, but it's like they're all like separate, but they all kind of like have the same common goal, just to be the strongest.
Yes, sir. That's the best part about sports anime. Well, depending on like which ones you like. I think and those both sound interesting. Again, I don't read a lot, but you know, I might be down to read a few of those, especially about the shawty be beating niggas up. I like that.
Yes, read Taboo. Oh my god, that's so
I like that energy.
When that gets animated, Jesus, I will be reacting to that because she be boxing niggas.
No, hopefully it's not Prairie. You better hope you get like A1 pictures or some shit. I think for me, we're doing. I guess everybody did 3. I'll do top 3. Probably be Haikyu, Run with the Wind, and Megalobox. Those are my favorite right now. Run with the Wind is one that I've been hearing people watch. Panda watched it. Gladys Hill, she watched it. Good shit. A few other people I know watch it. My boy Mark from Otaku IRL watched it. Run with the Wind is another one that has some slice of life elements in it because they really deal with the characters' personal lives and how it helps them run, like because they're like long distance runners and shit like that. But that shit be like, as an athlete, that shit hits like in a lot of different ways. You know what I mean? Especially like it is like somebody kind of like for everybody necessarily athletically, and I really love that. I really love how like it plays on different people's emotions and how that affects your how that affects how you perform, something like that, to a degree that shows like Haikyu and Kuroko and all the other ones don't do. Like it's deeper in a lot of different ways. I just really love it. I feel like it's, and like also like all the characters are main characters in their own right, and I just love the way they do characterize all of them. Not the way, an amazing anime, definitely underrated. That's definitely probably my top 3. Next, I was going to do. I have worst sports anime that we've ever seen.
Interesting.
Interesting. Right. I said for myself, I haven't seen many that I would necessarily say as bad.
I heard Slam Dunk was like racist. People told me, I was like, oh, I don't know, but like,
I guess I can see why, because they
Yeah.
kind of call my guy Gorilla.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not in the Fire Force way, like in the like that nigga.
No,
that
like
nigga's a black
real
man.
good. They even do like the yeah.
Actually, in sense, we've already talked about the man we don't like, but I think that's something I really think is like really. It's really sad that we don't see an anime. And again, I don't know if it's just because it's a Japanese thing. Anime is made mainly in Japan, and we're just now kind of on the bridge of the next level of anime. When it comes to inclusion, you know what I'm saying? So, and what I'm trying to get to is like, there's not enough black people in anime and sports anime where the sport is most definitely dominated by black people. Like, and again, like you could also say that again. These are made from people's perspectives of Japan, so that's why I mean, in Japan there's not that many black people, but most of the sports are going to be filled with Japanese people. So which again is why I really appreciate Run with the Wind, because they put like the whole African runners group which is what happens. They, a lot of times they transfer or they go out, they go out of the country and go to different places and they run there. And there was that, and there was the storyline with the one character who was African, but the other Africans looked at him differently because he wasn't like them. And so I kind of like that they had that kind of struggle between it because as I know the Black people who aren't athletes, and sometimes they're looked at differently because they're not as athletic as like the other Black people are. So like it was great having that kind of distinction. And the Haikyu has its Black characters mixed in there every once and then too. So I mean it's great that we're seeing them every once in a while now. But yeah, I think that's just something that I think that's always kind of that ate at me is that we don't really see enough Black people within anime. Oh, these sports anime especially.
Right.
I agree.
Speaking of Black people, I don't know how I keep butchering his name, but Ayomine, is that how you say it? I think.
Yeah, I think yeah.
He's Black. I don't care what anybody says. That's a Black dude.
Leon and Haikyu, he Black. I was like,
that's true. That's
he's definitely
true.
mixed. He's mixed. He is mixed. Like that, he's definitely mixed because that man had a whole like fade, bro. I was like, oh yeah.
Man, somebody had got mad at me because I said Ayomine was Black. I'm like, bro, he is dark skinned and he's a street baller. Like he's Black, but that's N1 right there.
Honestly, if we being serious, they missed out. Like, and I'm not critiquing the story. Like, if the guy wrote the way he wanted to write it, I'm not going to say he should have wrote a different way. But honestly, they could have really made Kagami Black because remember he came back. They could have because he came back from America, and I asked you, and he come on now, and he said they balled better in America, and I feel like they definitely could have made Kagami Black. Come on now,
they definitely could.
I would have finished the series just because he was a nigga. They did that.
True, they're doing some redrawings on Twitter, so I might have to.
Oh Lord! Oh my God! They made Kageyama Black. They said the meme was like, "I'm about to ball on these niggas tomorrow." I was like, "Why are you doing this to Kageyama?"
That was I retweeted that.
You would think something like that though. Like that's a funny meme.
I think Kageyama would definitely just be chilling there and be like, yeah. He was like, yeah, I'm about to beat these niggas up. Yeah, like he would definitely. Honestly, Ayomine would be like that. Kagami would be like that from Kuroko too. They'd be like, yeah.
Would definitely be talking this shit.
You know what? I was gonna say that. That's another thing I don't like about Kuroko too much. Only people that be talking that good shit is the Age Miracle niggas. Okay.
Cause they know they them niggas. Though.
They talking that good shit.
Everybody know they them niggas. Like
they be talking that good shit. But I be so mad. I be so mad sometimes because also I had a temper. But I be so bad sometimes when these like the people who are regular, they would do something good like that, and then they would just like lower themselves. Like they do something good, be like yeah, but we're not gonna win anyway. Nigga, you don't talk your shit, nigga. What?
I swear.
Akashi will let you know real quick how ass you.
Come on now.
He will dribble right next to you and be like, "Yo, fall," and you will fall.
Like,
I love
them niggas would get sauced, and I'd be like, "Come on now, y'all better say something. Like, y'all niggas be mad respectful, calling that nigga Sama. You better drop off all the respect."
But that's the thing. We gotta realize that they in Japan. If they was in America, you gotta watch the movie. The Americans, they was talking they shit. Cause if they getting cooked, but it's a fight that's gonna start if they getting cooked bad. But them Americans, bro, you gotta watch the movie. The movie, they was talking they stuff. They was like, y'all
might just watch it. I just might watch the movie because that's one of the main things I was missing. Because even in Haikyu, when you get deeper in, they kind of start talking their shit a little bit. Like even the people who aren't like that good, they kind of start talking their shit a little bit. They be like, oh, we're playing them.
Bro, the nigga with the red hair, that nigga was a whole troll. He literally was a troll. He looked like a troll.
Even not with that, like even like the looks they be giving off like that, the team would be ass. Like Krasno could beat the brakes off of them. The team would still be giving them the evil eye. They'd be like, Krasno, all the crows, y'all niggas dirty. Y'all can't beat us. And then knowing that they sorry, but they would still be coming like that. So I love that energy. That's part of sports. The unsportsmanlike conduct. That's the truth.
Man, I was always getting fouled out when I played basketball. I
No
didn't play
cap.
that shit,
Yeah. AAU days I used to foul out a lot. I'm not gonna lie.
bro. Cause like I was big from age. My dad put me in like the upper division. So I was like in like the 5th grade, play with like almost like middle school, high schooler girls.
Sheesh.
And them girls was big, bro. And we playing on a concrete too. I was like, yes, it's up my alley. I was like, yes, I want to believe when I'm done playing basketball. Like that's when you know you played a good game. Bro, I miss those days. Dang. The shit
No,
you can talk.
when I was younger, I played defense for football. I played D line too. I played quarterback and D line, real weird. But I used to talk the most shit. First of all, I was a dirty player. I wholly admit this, and I don't care.
Lord.
I was dirty as hell. I used to pull face masks. I used to kick. I
Oh
used to
hell
punt.
no.
I used to talk
This
that
is your
You
shit.
one of them niggas.
Your
You been
Haikyu goat
fighting
is a
afterward.
dirty player.
So y'all the kind of teams like they would jump in the bathroom after each game.
You say that. You say that. Tell me how after there's a playoff game, my last year of middle school ball, last year was a playoff game, and I beat this nigga so bad. I knew somebody on the team, and I beat the boy that was playing against me so bad that when I saw the boy that was on the team, he came to school the next day and we was chatting. He's like, "Oh yeah, dude told me he went to the bathroom. He's going to jump you." Because that whole game. First of all, that whole game I dominated them because I would like when the play would start. You know, your 3-point stance. Everybody knows football who's listening. You know, your 3-point stance, right? Or go turn the game on real quick or some old shit. When 3-point stance, Google this. You like the ball moves and you get into the niggas, you get into the person in front of you's chest and then you shove them off all like that. I didn't do that. So like the ball moved and I would slap the dudes in front of me helmet as hard as I could, and then like run through him. So I hit this dude helmet so hard, boy almost fall on the ground, and I just walked by him and got the tackle. So it was, and then I just say I was filthy. Okay, when I played, I was filthy. I used to like so. It's like between plays in like middle school and back in Jersey where I was from. D line, like the defense would be standing there and like the quarterback would go to get the play, then run it back to the huddle. Which they do that everywhere. But the play and go back to the huddle like that. And the ref would sometimes be there, sometimes wouldn't. But I would just be sitting there looking at the defensive players and I'd just be talking shit. I'd be like, yo, y'all ain't shit. Y'all can't block me. All y'all pussy. Like, all y'all suck.
Oh,
Like y'all some pieces of shit. Like y'all suck. Like I used to be talking dirty. Like
man, me, bro. I was big from age, so like, I was blocking shots. They like my one of my teachers saw me play. And he was like, "There go my Jason kid." I was like, "Coach, you can't be calling me that in school." And he was like, "Nah." He's like, "Yo, you should have saw her balling last night." I was like, "Bro, like stop, like you don't know that, like."
Relax, teach.
No, literally, and one of them was like the freaking parents used to call me Baby Shaq. I was like, all right, and my dad was like, yo, I'm sick of you balling these little ass white
Like
kids.
that.
I'm putting he's like, I'm putting you in upper division because like you they height, and bro, like that was like a big like challenge for me because them some big girls, like they was big, and I remember
and they play big.
Bro, my first game, them bitches was freaking basically damn near elbow me in the face. I was like, what the heck? And my dad was like, you got your ass beat, huh? I was like, yeah. He's like, we gonna try harder next time. I was like, you bet your ass. Like, I bet. All right. And after that, bro, bro, this one girl, this white girl, she tried to punk my teammate. And cause she was guarding the hell out of her, bro. I was watching her, and the girl got frustrated, and she stood up. She stopped joking, stood up, and was like, "Yo, chill out!" Yelled at her. My friend stood up, and she was black. She stood up, looked at her. I was like, "Bro, we fighting? Like, yo, what's happening?" Like, I'm like, we fighting. And then the girl kind of backed up because she saw how tall she was, because she was playing D, and she kind of like, shut up. I was like, all right, we good. But I was like, the white girl didn't know how tall you were because you were playing D, but she was frustrated. I talked with my fist. I didn't really speak, I kind of like block shots. Like I'll block the ball, people's faces type thing. That's where we at.
I did both. You had to talk that shit. And I mean, if you never almost fought doing playing basketball, you didn't really play basketball. All right, I'm just being
right.
Like if you didn't almost throw hands a few times, I don't know what you was playing, but it wasn't basketball.
Man. And we're girls, so we got harder shit. Like you can't even look at no one without getting a text. You're like, damn. Hey. Like number 15. I'm like, damn, okay. Oh.
That's funny.
Oh my god, yeah, that's funny. Yeah, so that's what you all have for top of the sports anime today. This is definitely something I want to bring on a part 2 sooner or later. Love sports anime. I said I'm watching Ace of the Diamond now. I gotta get into Hajime no Ippo, which is another one that's goaded apparently in the
Hell
community.
yeah.
Definitely something I gotta check out.
Since
You gotta watch it.
you talk all this shit about Haikyu and shit, I'm like, damn, I'm gonna have to watch just to see.
Must.
And I'm
You
gonna
know,
ask you,
going-
if it's trash, I'm gonna ask you, be like, this shit garbage. Don't ever disrespect Haiku ever again.
That's
Be
what
fine.
Aaron did, and if you do it, you're gonna get the same energy. I'm a TL.
Hey.
I'm gonna tell you this. Panda has seen Kuroko, and she still puts Haikyu above it.
Okay, then, and I trust Panda's judgment, you know.
Man.
So
She's watching Hero no Sora too, and she still again put.
bro, Hero no Sora was boring. That I was just like, this is so slow, and y'all like niggas, but y'all not niggas. But like, what's happening? No one wants to play basketball. Everyone's like, what? The shortest nigga wants to play basketball, and no one else. I was just like, all right, I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, the creator that the mangaka hates it too.
Hates
So he's
it.
not.
Yeah. Well, one nigga looked just like AI. AI. I was like, why does man look like AI, bro? I was like, what the heck?
He definitely do kind of look like AI.
Like just like AI.
He just started thinking about it.
And they made him they made him like a problem kid. Like,
yes,
okay.
I was like, oh, the creator love him some sixers because I did too. It's okay, I had his post and everything, but I was like, we're not gonna disrespect Allen Iverson like that.
The street baller too has handles. Yeah.
But yeah, we'll definitely have to come back to this once, watch some more. I might just make I don't know if I'm gonna do reviews for them. I might do a Hajime no Ippo review. Might need to do that. Ace of the Diamond. Say what?
They got G-Shocks for Hajime no Ippo. I saw that. I was like, oh,
they do?
Yeah, they clean. They clean.
Oh, that means it's golded. Oh, One Piece got G-Shocks too. That means it's golded.
You get a G-Shock in your anime, you a real nigga. You go.
You real nigga. That means you're a trendsetter. I have to watch it then. But let's move on to the news real quick. First thing we have is this is some funny news. The first thing is something funny. Mob Psycho 100 official accounts comment on the anime trending in the U.S. Now, if you've been on Twitter the past few days, and it probably made its way to Instagram and Facebook if you follow those type of anime accounts. The Mob Psycho 100 anime started trending in the U.S. on Tuesday after Eric Trump, second son of the U.S. President Donald Trump and vice president of the Trump Organization, I hated saying all that, a tweet insinuating that Google is manipulating Americans to associate the word mobs, like a group of people, a mob, angry group of people, with the anime. So if you haven't seen it, it is a tweet in which Eric Trump, he says, Google is once again trying to manipulate Americans. Type mob or mobs into Google and watch what comes up. Do the same on any other search engine. Hashtag nothing to see here. And he shows 4 pictures of 4 different search engines. It's Bing, Yahoo, and I don't know if the other one is some weird site. He's a weirdo. But Google has Mob Psycho 100. And the other ones are a group of like different mobs. And again, this is funny because this is just somebody who doesn't know how Google works. That and Google is the most used site for most used search engine in the country. So I believe it is. I'm not gonna say it is. I don't know, but I believe it is. You don't think anime? First of all, if you're on anime Twitter or even anime Instagram or YouTube, anime niggas is posting pictures every day. Okay,
facts.
Every single day. Mob Psycho 100 is one of the biggest anime that came out last year. You don't think niggas is searching that every waking moment of the day? Come on now.
Yeah, when I saw that, that was just such a funny tweet. Like, he's like, this is proof that everything is being like, what? You just really put Mob Psycho on Twitter and just said everything's being tampered with. Like how do you operate? Like, what is wrong?
I
with you?
saw it trending. I don't know why. I was like, I'm like, did like a chapter come out? I didn't really look into it because I was like, I don't know, that's weird, alright. Mob Psycho's trending, but like knowing why, I'm just like, okay. Like, I mean, I would prefer if it was a chapter that came out, but that's just ridiculous. It's just like, okay.
And so the two Mob Psycho 100 accounts tweeted about it. The first one is the Mabo Psych 1 account. It said, "Hello, I heard I was trending," and it's a picture of main character. I can't remember his name right now. Oh my gosh. I can't remember his name right now. But and then the second one is the Japanese one, says that if you haven't watched hashtag Mob Psycho 100 series already, now is the perfect time. And the follow-up team posts its in parentheses, we do know the reasons why, regarding why the series began trending. So yeah, that's funny. You know what I mean? Honestly, what like it's what you would expect from a Trump. So, you know, being a dumbass. So it's hilarious. I love it. Next we have Funimation is adds Seikano, Asterisk War, Mekakasi. I don't know how to say this one. Actors anime, and then it also Funimation also adding Terraformers, Copelian, Gargantua. I guess that's Gargantua, the Virtuous Force.
I love that anime.
Yeah, that's a great anime. I love it.
It's
and
so
then
good.
Megalobox anime, it's adding them. I believe it's to US. I'm not sure what else is adding. I'm actually not clicking on the news right now. But Funimation has got to deal with Viz Media, which means, you know, we could see some really exciting things coming out in the future. So that should be interesting to see what comes out after this, especially since they have announced a partnership. Next, we have Microsoft has unveiled their Xbox Series S console for November 10th release, the smallest Xbox ever created. It runs at 1440p and it upscales to 4K. It's faster than the One X. It's slightly better than the One X, but it's also all digital. There's no disk drive. Super small. They say it fits like in your backpack with other stuff in it. It's $299. They also the Xbox Series X prices were leaked as well for $499. But that's not the interesting thing. The interesting thing about the leaked prices and everything that's going on is that they leaked something called Xbox All Access. You know, I'm not sure if this is leaked or if it's already regular knowledge or whatever, in which you can get the Xbox Series S, I believe, $25 a month. And it also gives you 2 years of Ultimate Game Plus. So that means you get every first party or PC and Microsoft game. Microsoft PC and Xbox might as well be the same thing for Microsoft. You get every single one day one when it comes out, and you can download it onto your Series S. And then for Series X, they're doing $35 a month plus another plus 2 years of Ultimate Game Pass, and that's for the Series X, which is really fucking attractive. Because I wasn't going to buy a Series X because I have a One X, right? I have a One X, so and that's basically like the Series S is a little bit step up from that. So they're still making certain games for both consoles. So I was going to keep it for a little bit. But $35 a month for the Series X? Come on now. That's cheap. No, that's not even enough to be a bill, bro. I can afford that. I can afford that right now and still get the PS5. I can afford that.
Facts.
Yeah. I might have to. I wasn't going to, but I might have to. Plus, another news for gaming news. Well, one of the gaming news I have on there. Also, Xbox Game Plus. I just said Ultimate Game, whatever. Has partnered with EA Play. I don't know when that goes into effect. So that means that EA games that come out free for EA Play, or you can get them early on EA, you can now get them also early through Game Pass. Game Pass. But Xbox Game Pass, them niggas at Microsoft going off right now, okay?
They are doing their thing.
They going off right
like
now. I didn't expect all
is,
this.
Xbox is going up, huh? All you PlayStationers out there.
I guess.
I said PlayStation. You know, they still got nice exclusives. You know what I mean? You know, good wigs. But we shall see. I'm like I said, I'm probably gonna pick up both because I'm interested in both consoles have coming out. But I'll always probably main Xbox. So once I get a PC, then we'll see what happens. probably always made Xbox.
Right?
Yeah, so yeah, when I get PC, it's like what I do then, because I can still use my Xbox controller on my PC, so it might be the same thing.
Yeah.
Perfect.
But next we have Breath of the Wild prequel game Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity has announced. So this is a prequel to Breath of the Wild, and it's a Hyrule Warriors game, which is kind of like a plus. It's like awesome Hyrule Warriors. Great game. Well, I thought it was a great game. It looked really good. I watched a lot of people play. It looked really fun as hell. I don't have a Switch, so don't say anything. But I can't wait till this game comes out. Actually, no, it launches on November 20th, which is awesome. Like I said, there's been reports that Nintendo is going to release an enhanced version of their console next year. So I'm praying to God that it happens because I cannot go any much longer without it. Okay, Switch is a necessity now. The games are too good. Okay, it's a necessity.
I guess.
Come on now, you know you want it.
I need to get Power Stone. If I get Power Stone, I'll buy it. I'll buy a Switch. I love that game. I don't know.
We have no Nintendo Direct for a long time, so I don't know how to tell you that. Next we have True Cooking Master Boy anime sequel premieres in 2021. This is a cooking anime that came out in the winter 2020. So that was this January and stuff like that. I believe it came out then. I watched a little bit of it. It's an interesting anime, but it's not Food Wars. Okay, that's all I gotta say. Food Wars right now is the epitome of food anime for me.
It is.
It's like another competitive style, but it's Food Wars. It's just that shit. Okay, it's amazing. I might check it out. I don't know. I said I finished the first season, so we'll see what happens. They said Made in Abyss, Dawn of the Deep Soul film gets more in-theater and virtual screenings in North America. This movie is the sequel to the first season of Made in Abyss. I believe that's somewhere around here. But I just want to see more Made in Abyss, okay? I haven't watched this yet. I don't know if it's sub or anything like that. I'm bootlegged it or websites. I'm using it though. But yeah, I want to see this movie so bad. I love Made in Abyss, and I can't really see what's next in this next chapter. So yeah. Oh, okay. And I just saw this. This is actually on my list. Black Clover anime starts a new original story. This year's 40th issue of Shueisha's Weekly Shonen Jump magazine revealed on Monday that the Black Clover anime will start an anime original story that will feature 2 original characters. The characters and their cast members are Dazu Tayak and Bao Nohde. I don't want to say that. I said like German. The new anime original story will feature people who hate devils and hope that they perish. The voice of Asta, Gakuto Kajiwara, the voice of Asta in the Black Clover anime, is performing the anime's new ending theme song at Walk. So it's just going to be him screaming for about 5 minutes. And a walk of pain while he screams the entire time. But besides that, there's no other news on the new direction. But this is a filler arc. Black Clover is within its fillers. So for you weekly watchers, have fun with that. I saw it on Twitter. And they said that the people who make Black Clover don't like to be, well, it's parallel, right? They don't like to be closer than 50 chapters close enough to the manga. And right now they're in the 20s or 30s close to the manga. I pay attention. I might not like it. I give you all the news. Okay. So they're about 20 to 30, I believe, close enough to it from what I've read. So so y'all might not get new actual what's the word, canon episodes until January of 2021. So
binging.
It's looking a little slow. A little slow. You want to take some weeks off, do what you gotta do, you know what I mean? Next we have Crunchyroll and Adult Swim announces a Shenmue anime series. I believe this is based off the video game series, the Shenmue series. So I am interested in seeing what that comes to. I just saw another news thing that I didn't have on the list. Crunchyroll and Sentai Filmworks partner for home video releases. So you can get some more anime on Blu-ray or whatever coming soon. They're going to distribute anime titles which will appear as a mix of subtitled and English dubbed content. They announced the Blu-ray disc release of the Grand Belm anime is one of the 4 titles that would kick off this new partnership. The other 3 titles include Food Wars Season 4, A Sentence of a Bookworm, and World Trigger. So if you're somebody who likes a nice little physical disc for any of these anime or future anime, since Crunchyroll, this is going to be a long time partnership. That's what it looks like. Coming. Crunchyroll is doing really well. Doing their fucking thing. Next up, the Rising of the Shield Heroes anime second season premieres in 2021.
Yes, sir.
Cannot wait for that to come out. Not wait.
Heavy on the yes, sir.
Lastly, we have Nintendo announces Super Mario 3D All-Stars, Super Mario Bros. 35 games, Game & Watch, Super Mario Bros. Device. But yeah, it's more Nintendo games. I believe 3D All-Stars, this is all going on the Switch, which is kind of really cool. Because these are games that people have been waiting for a long time on the Switch. So, oh, here it is. I just missed it. Here it is. Okay. Nintendo began streaming a Super Mario Bros. 35th anniversary direct presentation on Thursday. Video reveals that Nintendo will release a Game & Watch Super Mario Bros. Handheld device. Okay, that's cool. As well as the following games for the Nintendo Switch: Super Mario 3D All-Stars, Super Mario Bros. 35, Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, and Mario Kart Live Home Circuit. Nintendo also launched a Super Mario All-Stars game collection as part of the Super NES Nintendo Switch Online. What? Super Mario All-Stars game collection? Lord Jesus. That is amazing. I love all the All-Star games. Oh my gosh. Did they have All-Star Soccer in there? Yo, the All-Star Soccer game for Super Mario was fucking top tier. Lord Jesus. Oh, here it is. The Super Mario 3D All-Stars collection will launch on September 18th, and it will include the following games: Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, and Super Mario Galaxy. The games will have higher resolution than the original version. Super Mario Sunshine and Galaxy will feature a widescreen 16:9 aspect ratio, and Super Mario Galaxy will be compatible with control scheme of 2 Joy-Con controllers. There will also be a music player mode with songs from all 3 games. The game collection will be available physically and digitally until the end of March 2021. So that means they need to release their new console before the end of March 2021. This is really cool. That's not Super Mario All-Star Soccer, so I'm kind of sad. And they said the Super Mario Bros. 35 online, Super Mario Bros. 35 is an online battle game digitally and exclusively to Nintendo Switch Online members on top of October 1st. The game will be playable until March 31st. The game allows 35 players to play through Super Mario Bros. Courses simultaneously, and the last player standing wins the game. Enemies that players defeat are sent to the other players' courses. Interesting. So yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff that Nintendo's doing for the 35th anniversary of Super Mario. 35th, yeah, Super Mario Bros. 35th, yeah. So that's all the news we have for today, ladies and gentlemen. We are now on to last words. What would y'all have to say today?
I'm gonna go last.
I'm gonna go last. I go last, nigga. That's my role.
You fucking son of a gun. I was about to set it up perfect.
Go ahead, Ashanti.
Read Tapu, please. It's a fire ass manga. I love Haikyu, Hinata, and Nishinoya, my sons. Don't come for them. And yeah, just y'all be safe out here. It's crazy.
It do
And
be
follow
like that.
me. Follow me on my stuff.
Follow Spicy Lady. Links will be in the description, of course. Go ahead, Ed. What you got?
Man, this has been a very, very interesting episode full of so many thoughts and ideas. I took a lot from it. And one of the things I learned is that haiku is still boring. But make sure y'all follow Black Anime. Make sure y'all follow HBCU Anime. And make sure y'all follow Spicy Lady. That's all I gotta say.
I remember last week that I said that I don't slander a lot of anime. I was interested in Black Girl. That was an interview of Black Girls anime, and it just fell out of my mind. I literally forgot about Kuroko no Basket because it's so easily slanderable.
Oh, you lucky you got to go last.
I forgot about it. This is, one, I want to thank Ashanti for coming on. As always, love having Ashanti on. And we thank her for coming and visiting us over at the Black Anime World. Last thing I want to say is don't let internet niggas influence you on what animator to watch. Okay?
Facts.
Always form your own opinion. I said this before. Always form your own opinion. We always gonna talk shit because we've seen it, but you haven't seen it yet, so you don't know. All right. So always
mind, please. Just because
watch Haikyu, watch Kuroko no Basket, watch it, find out what you like, all that type shit.
And Black Clover.
I'll go that far. But Black Clover, whatever.
Yeah, sink it in there.
But yeah. Again, thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for checking in. We're gonna be back next week. Same time, same crime. Yeah. Peace out, homies. I think I'm gonna say bye. Wow.
Oh, bye.
That was so rude.
You hit the end.
No. You see Craig in here still, right? Gosh, Craig don't leave. We're still going.
Craig, get your ass shot.
Hey everyone, it's Bruni, aka the Tiny Giant, aka the baddest bitch on this podcast, here to thank you for listening to this episode of the Black Anime Podcast. If you want to join the discussion with myself and the other hosts, connect with us on Twitter and Instagram at BLXXK Anime. Again, that's at BLXXK Anime. I also want to remind everyone to check out our Patreon. The link will be in the description. Depending on the tier you subscribe to, you'll gain access to exclusive pods with our monthly guests, the link to join Discord servers with other listeners, and the Black Anime hosts, and discounts for Black Anime merch. Again, thank you for listening to the episode, and don't forget to look out for the next one.